Hi class. This week is the midpoint in the course. I always marvel at how quickly this comes. So what did you think of the creative brief? I hope you felt good about it. Like I said, it is a real world assignment. So the good news for all of you is that I think that the projects become even more fun after this point. This week, not only is it kind of fun, but it's pretty easy. I promise they'll get harder from here on out. The subject this week can be boiled down to, where do ideas come from? You know, I've always been a bit scared of this subject. As a professional creative, I've always worried that if I look too hard into Pandora's box, I'll lose the magic. Somewhere along the way, I realized that if I understood how I got ideas, I could control the process. Today, I have a handful of tricks I use, and really, for the most part, I can ideate on demand. I say that, but one of my least favorite things is to be in a meeting and, because I'm the idea guy, be put on the spot to come up with something. Most of the time that doesn't work. My underlying hypothesis for ideation goes back to a quote by Linus Pauling. Not the Peanuts character, but the guy who figured out that vitamin C can ward off viruses. He actually won 2 Nobel Prizes. He said that to have good ideas, you need to have lots of ideas. I think I told you my undergraduate degree is in graphic design. Denny Fagan was my primary professor, and when we were in the ideation phase, she'd say, do 100 variations of that. I'd do the variations, and in the next class she'd say, this idea is the most promising. Do another 100 based on that. So that thinking is worth keeping in your pocket. One way to have lots of ideas is kind of illustrated in your textbook on page 158. It's a mind map. The idea is that you start with a core idea in the middle of your page, then go off on tangents from that. Each bubble leads to other tangents. Do this for a few minutes until your page or whiteboard are filled, then go back and pick the most interesting or promising concepts. I've always thought of doing a video to show this. If you'd like me to do that, shoot me an email. Another tool I'll use for ideation is I'll put a list of concepts down the right side of the page and another list of concepts along the top. So think of this. I want to advertise a new candy bar. I might put down one side a list of attributes. Chocolate, caramel, nuts, chewy, sweet. Then along the top, list ways to sell it. Superheroes, a dog, flying, a boat, a sumo wrestler. Then imagine you have a grid and you can connect 2 things that have nothing to do with each other. A sumo wrestler and caramel. A boat and chocolate. A dog and sweet. Do any of those jump out at you as a creative idea? In a million years, you might never come up with sumo wrestlers stuck together by caramel, but you just did, and that could be funny. So your assignment this week is a discussion board week. I gave you the design kit link in the announcement email. Be sure to watch all those videos. I think those interviews are fascinating, and I can't wait to read your thoughts. Be sure, if you have any stories you can tell, do that. This is really a great opportunity to share some personal anecdotes. I'm sure I'll be doing that in my comments. And then you're asked about AI. My own view has evolved since I started teaching this class. I wonder what your current thoughts are on the state of AI in marketing. Do you have any apprehension about AI taking over your future job? Do you feel ready to partner with AI? I think your thoughts will be interesting, so please include them. Have a great week.